Here we go. This is the DJI Mini 5 Pro first flight. And we've got our landing mat, and we've got a slight breeze headed due north. About a 5-10 mile an hour breeze, not too bad. You can see the bushes kind of moving a little bit, the undergrowth there. We're at the wildlife area, conservation area. We'll take it up and see how she flies. Pay no attention to that noise in the background. It's just fans going on my inverter. Anyway, we're up in the sky headed due north. The camera on the Mini 5 Pro is really nice, does a good job. I have no complaints about it at all. Let's see, I see a right away. I usually fly down. I've flown I've flown this one route several times before, so with the Mini Pro 4, so you should be able to kind of judge, if you watch some of those videos, how the Mini 5 Pro stacks up against it camera-wise. I'm using about the same settings. Actually, this is being shot at 4K 30 frames a second, not 60 frames a second. So, and we do have an ND filter on. One of the ND filters that came with the DJI Mini Pro Plus package. It snaps right on the front of the gimbal there. And we're just going to fly down here and take a peek. I don't see any animals in the clear cut there. The power line right away and the gas right away. So let's fly down and take a look at this water tower. Sucker for water towers, that's for sure. Take a look at it. I'm going to just sit back and look at this for a second. They built this last year. I've done many flights around it. I have not set the stick controls on this to the way I want them yet. They're way too choppy and too fast, but I wanted to get out for a couple flights and just see what it was about before I get to fooling with it too much. But I will set the sticks down to where the stick reaction is a lot smoother and slower. Now this is in normal control, this isn't in cine mode, so I'm doing this manually in normal, and we'll see when I get to the side here. I let it get away from me a little bit. The rotation got a little too fast, and slow down again. Right about, now you'll see it here coming up right about now. See, whoop, there you go. And you can see just how unstable I am with the gimbal right now and the sticks. When I get those settings set the same as my Mini 4 Pro, we'll have a much smoother flight. There we go. Got around it. Not too bad for a first time with nothing set. Anyway, let's take a peek and see if we can get another rotation. There we go. I think we're going to slide off here to the right. Yeah, there we go. I think we've completed that. Didn't have any real strong winds to fly the Mini 5 Pro in yet, but I think she's supposed to be rated at about a level 6, so we'll see how that goes. I know one thing, the software that I'm using to edit the video and put sound on the video, it doesn't like the Mini 5 Pro as much as it does the Mini 4 Pro. The Mini 4 Pro, it handles it real slick, but for some reason the Mini 5 Pro seems a little overwhelming to it. And I don't have the newest computer. The computer's fairly old, but it is what it is. Okay, here we go. You're going to get some views over here crossing this road. We're headed north now, and this is another patch of woods that I'm interested in. This is about 40 acres, and it's loaded with big old deer. So bow hunter's dream right here is for sale right now. But the millions of dollars they want for it is at least 50 cents out of my price range. Now look at the horizon. You don't see the DJI gimbal tilt that they're famous for. So the gimbal is pretty nice. I didn't do any of the rotation of the gimbal on this flight. I am not a vertical shooter at all. I could care less about vertical shooting, so I may, in one of my flights coming up, just rotate the gimbal just to, as I'm flying, just to get that goofy effect once or twice, and then I'll probably be done with it. Now this is another area by this church up here. It's an area that holds a lot of deer, but also holds a lot of homeless people. They tend to run the deer off and run the deer around in there quite a bit. So we'll take a peek at it. Like I said, we're just trying to get used to it. This is the RC2 Pro. No, not the Pro. This is the RC2 controller that I'm using. As far as the range and signal strength, I find it to be the same as my Mini 4 Pro. I don't think it's any better at all. And I don't think it's supposed to be using OcuSync 4 Plus, but yeah, I wouldn't bet on it. I don't see any difference. I flew the Mini 4 route with it right after I got done flying the Mini 5, and if the Mini 5 got any further distance on the exact same route, it might have been 100 feet, 200 feet, but maybe not even that much. So I'd say you're going to get about the same signal strength and distance that you're getting on your Mini 3 Pro or your Mini 4 Pro. You're going to get it on same as on the Mini 5 Pro. I didn't see any difference there. And like I said, I think this is rated for about a number 6 wind level, where the Mini 4 Pro, I think it's a 5 wind level. But when I get up around, I can fly the Mini 4 Pro 20 miles an hour with no problem in 20 mile an hour winds. I don't like to go much further than that because it's a struggle, and you know, you can get in a whole lot of trouble real quick if you're not careful. So we'll see how this goes. We're kind of heading back now. We're going to try to get over this road, let that car pass. There we go. A big lake over there. Well, it's not a big lake, but it's one I haven't fished in, so whenever I see one from the air, I'm saying, I'd like to wet a line there. It looks like the water's awful low. Of course, we haven't been having much rain here. We've been in a semi-drought in this area. So I'm not expecting very good fall foliage for you guys this year. Usually I try to get out during the fall bow season for whitetail deer and try to get a lot of nice pictures of the fall foliage here changing. But ooh, look how much that lake's down. This place here is called Midwest Research Institute. They grow stuff to put in supplements, so, and some other weird things. They own a lot of land. I'll bet you they own 600-700 acres in there. Deer all over the place in there, but they're very particular about anybody being on or near their property. So we'll leave that alone. Now here you go. There's some solar panels there. I'd say there's a few of them on that roof. Holy cow. Let's drift to the right here, and then we're going to come back over the road to the left. I want to look at those panels again. Ooh, there's a highline right away next to the road that holds a lot of deer right in there. And they do not own, they own everything to the right of that little clear cut, but not to the left of the clear cut. That's for sale. 16, 17 acres in there. Runs alongside the road, that's for sale, but boy, you better have some money if you want that. Okay, getting up, come over to my buddy's house right now. There's his house, pan down, take a look at that. Built that house by hand, one guy. I'm telling you, he's a tough old bird. They've got put a garden in right there. They had to put a fence around it for the deer. Here's our Elks Lodge, for which I am a member. And we're going to come back here and go over it and come back over the conservation area and the park area. This is a nice field for whitetail hunting. We have a managed deer hunt that's held back here with Bo every year. And I've taken several does out of that field right there. So, and there's no crops up here at all. It's just all acorns and browse. So here we go. We're coming up to a real nice doe bedding area for you people that are deer hunters. After you come out of this field right here, they're thick in here. I like to run around out here in these short cedars and stuff like that, bed down, and then they go into the thicker stuff that we're getting ready to fly over. There's a lot of acorns in this stuff coming up. You'll see the edge of this field right here. Now we're getting into the thick stuff with the acorn trees. We should be, yeah, we're going to come up on a pond here that was just recently stocked with pan-sized channel catfish by the Conservation Department. There it is. And we're going to take a look at the, looks like the little lily pads on this pond. We'll fly over and maybe we'll take a peek at it and see. I've fished that pond many times, and it's just full of moss and stuff on the bottom, so you're going to get caught. There you go. Take a look at the lily pads. Little zoom on the Mini 5. Really nice. Come back out. Like I said, they just stocked that recently, but as you can see, there's nobody fishing around it, so they've probably caught most of the fish out of there. Let's head back over. We're going to put the Mini 5 Pro into return to home, and I can tell you right now, it did not do well on the return to home. The second flight it did very good, landed right back on the pad, but this spot here, I think I might have walked out into the field just a little bit and may have accidentally hit dynamic home point return or something, because it was a good 15 feet off. But here we come, coming back in, and we'll get her landed here in a second. I really like the drone. The only few things I don't like about it, the plastic seems a lot flimsier than the Mini 4 Pro. It seems like it will break much easier. I like the camera. The cameras are very good. That's probably the best thing I like on it. I don't much like, well, I do like that it turns on automatically when you pull the props out, and you can turn that off. And I've turned it off because sometimes I'll pull those props out and be messing with something and don't want it to turn the drone on. So you see where it come down right there. So it thought I just stopped it right there. There's where it was going to come down to. So we'll back her around here, bring her in. We'll flip her around the way she's supposed to be and back her into us. Anyway, I hope you like this first view, and we'll have a lot more content out there for you later. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to get a different computer. This old computer just doesn't much like doing this. There you can see the shadow of the drone coming down. Stay safe out there. Follow the golden rule if you can. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and that's the best way for everybody. And we'll get on the mat. We'll try to get some more content out there for you soon. Here we come. Put that camera up here in a second. Right where she needs to be. Yeah, she looks pretty good right about there. There you go. Thanks for watching.